I'm Marnius Calgar,
And I'm Titus.
and today we are talking about Combat Patrol Space Marines.
We sure are.
So I have played Combat Patrol about once a weekend since spring of 2024.
hmm
And how much Combat Patrol have you played?
So we've done two other videos, and in both of those videos, I have said that I have played more than 5 but less than 10, and that is still my answer. So we should get playing more.
I agree. We need to play a few more games. Um, so in this box, you get a Captain and Terminator armor.
Mm-hmm.
You get a librarian in Terminator armor.
Mm-hmm.
You get 5 Terminators,
Mm-hmm.
and you get 5 Infernus Marines. So you get a lot of Terminators.
Yes.
And you get that for the price of $168.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it would cost if you bought all of these individually?
You tell me.
$179.
Oof.
Yeah, you save $11.
That's not great.
This is probably the worst value in all of the Combat Patrols, monetarily speaking.
So let's skip the monetary talk of this particular Combat Patrol then, and let's talk about the actual game that you get with it.
Okay, yeah, because we will definitely circle back to monetary value later in the video.
We will, yes.
But from the standpoint of what you get, I don't hate these models. I think the captain is really cool.
The librarian does not look like your typical librarian.
No, he does not have any books. He has a gun and he has an axe.
Yeah.
And psychic powers.
Mm-hmm.
The captain is standing on a big decapitated Tyranid.
Yeah, I think that is a head that is probably the size of the captain's body.
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger Tyranid creature. It might be the Psychophage from the Combat Patrol. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't quite look like that model, but it looks more like a Hive Tyrant to me. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Psychophage is a little spidery.
Yeah, a little more spidery looking than the guy that the captain has clearly dealt with. I mean, I do think some of these models are cool. I know you kind of find the Space Marine models a little boring compared to some of the other stuff in the line.
I do. It's only because they are super strong men in metal armor, and that to me is just boring. They look, objectively cool, but it's just not something that excites me. I'm more of an orc person.
Yes, yeah. I love Terminators, so I do like the models in this kit. But models aside, oof, this one is it's tough to play on the tabletop. This is a hard Combat Patrol to use in the game of Combat Patrol.
Yeah, I fought against it with orcs, and my last squad took out one of the squads, which is what, five guys and a character,
Mm-hmm.
and that's half the Space Marine Combat Patrol. I killed half the Combat Patrol with my one unit of orcs.
Yeah, yeah, and that kind of typifies what this one. It's an uphill battle, right? Because you have a limited model count. Your models have kind of low mobility. You do get a little bit of a mobility boost in the Terminators can deep strike.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of bring them in, essentially bring them in anywhere on the tabletop. They have to be a certain amount away from enemy models, that kind of thing. But you can bring them in to a specific point. The problem is once they're there, they really don't move anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, they don't move there fast.
No, their movement I just looked at it a little bit ago, is 5 inches.
Yeah, it's 5 inches. Yeah, and most models are 6, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but it does turn out to be a lot. Um, and you can advance and get an extra d6 inches. So, in theory, they could move as much as 11 inches. But, in reality, you're probably not rolling a 6 on your advanced moves. So they suffer from low mobility, low model count, and it makes it a difficult combat patrol to play.
Easy to play against, though.
Easy to play against. Yeah. So I don't think this is a good value. I don't think this is a good way to start combat patrol. Is this a good way to start 40K?
I honestly don't think so.
Right. Yeah. Because the ultimate starter set is $210.
Oh yeah, the ultimate starter set has the Tyranids and the Space Marine combat patrols in it.
It does. It has both. And if Space Marine 2 is what brought you to Warhammer in the first place, the ultimate starter is great because you are essentially getting to play Space Marine 2
on the tabletop.
Yeah, on the table in the form of combat patrol. And so that makes the ultimate starter is probably, if you're interested in Space Marines, the ultimate starter is where you should start the game. You get this combat patrol, you get the Tyranid combat patrol, you get dice, you get terrain, you get a play map, you get measuring sticks, you get index cards, you get the rule book, and you get the quick start rule book.
And because you're getting 2 combat patrols in the ultimate starter set, you can rope a friend into playing who might not have the ability to purchase their own, or maybe they're a little uneasy about spending the money and putting it together themselves, so they can see how awesome combat patrol is.
Yeah, you can rope your friends and family into playing. And I think a great thing to point out is you can give the person that you want to encourage to play the game, you can give them the Tyranid combat patrol, and you can play this one, and they're going to have a little easier go of it, and that might make them have a little more fun. They outnumber you. Their models, depending on who you talk to, might look cooler. They certainly look more alien and more kind of science fiction. And so I think the ultimate starter is the way to go. I think you just totally skip this box altogether.
I would agree.
So overall, I say this is a bad box in combat patrol, and this is a bad way to start 40K. I think you can skip this entirely.
100%.
I have been Marnius Calgar.
And I have been Titus.
Be sure to check out our other episodes of Combat Patrol reviews, including upcoming Combat Patrol Tyranids. And also be sure to check out our list building videos, where we take 2 boxes of the same Combat Patrol, mash it together, and toss some additional kits in there to get it up to 1,000 points, 1,500 points, and 2,000 points.
Thanks for listening.